problem for me.
Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, coming to you live from CES 2024 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining us for this segment, we have Tanneasha Gordon. She's principal and data and digital trust leader at Deloitte. We're here to discuss building trust and security into emerging technologies. Tanneasha, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thank you for having me.
Why does taking a trust by design approach matter even more as companies are adopting cutting edge technologies like AI? How does it impact customer trust and business results?
I think we're long past the days where we can only worry about privacy, we can only worry about security. We need to worry about all of it. So what trust by design truly is the amalgamation of privacy, security, safety, and inclusion. So think about making sure bias is not embedded within products and that they're usable and they're accounting for the different demographics. It's taking a comprehensive approach to building, designing, and deploying products and services and making sure that you have the right components and processes in place to maintain that those products are reliant, the integrity for them are high, and that users are getting what they deserve and what they've paid for.
Right, and of course, if that does impact consumer trust, it's just going to translate to the bottom line.
Absolutely. So trust is going to be the new currency by which companies have to engage with users for their loyalty, for their business, and their attention. We're no longer going to be in the days where we, assume companies are doing what they need to do. They have to actually make sure that the trust and the responsible way that they're building products and deploying products are part of their marketing strategy. It's out front, and that users feel confident and that they can rely on the product.
What kind of organizational shifts are required to truly embed cybersecurity and privacy into development flows? How can companies make this a priority?
So I think, back in the day, when I say back in the day, I mean 5, 10 years ago, companies would just move fast, break things, build products, and if a breach happened, or they'll do a security review at the end. Right now, what we have to do is when you are conceptualizing a functionality, a feature, a product, an application, thinking about what is the customer journey and how can we engender trust and reliance on this product from a user-centric perspective along the customer journey. So before it would just be, let's just increase user engagement and keep eyes on and attention on the product. But you have to now think about how do we make sure trust is embedded at every stage of the life cycle of the customer journey, but that you have the right safeguards in place to protect against hacking and schemes, to protect against abhorrent content. So think about misinformation, disinformation. How do we keep people safe online? So products actually need to products have to be designed with these kind of concept and principles in place. And you brought up the concept of AI being embedded in all types of products these days. When thinking about embedding AI into your product, you also have to think about how am I keeping users safe in terms of making sure that the machine learning model and the product itself was built with diverse data. Was the model trained with diverse data of minorities, women, different demographic? When the product is being used, how can we make sure that there are safeguards in place that doesn't allow the AI to say something that is misinformation or disinformation or exploitive, right? So those are the types of things that we are advocating to be built into the design and the building phase versus the product is built and then we do a check the box review before it's launched.
And that's really what the challenge is, because you have the competing business priorities where they want to implement AI. Everybody's moving to the cloud if you want to be competitive. And that's really what the challenge is, where sometimes cybersecurity can be an afterthought where you just won't be able to execute unless it's part of the plan.
Exactly, and you will hear some companies or maybe some developers say, it slows down the process. You're an engineer your way out of it. How can you speed that up? How can you make engineering safely and responsibly part of the process where it doesn't impact or delay the product launch? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it actually is going to cost you more when your brand is impacted because you had an event, or you have to go back and re-engineer because you didn't engineer it up front. So it's actually more effective to do that from a cost savings point of view, but also a brand and reputation. But also the competition is steep. Everybody literally has AI. Like if you go and look at everyone's 10K, AI is mentioned somewhere in there. So if you're going to need to be competitive in this AI race, you better be the company that is doing that in a trustworthy and responsible way to be viable and sustainable long term.
All right, Tanneasha, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks.
Absolutely.
And thanks for joining me from CES. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.